Are people excited about Path of Exile 2 again? Man, it has been an absolute while since I have seen actual positivity about Path of Exile 2 in the general PoE community. People, ever since the announcement of Path of Exile 2 being a separate game from Path of Exile 1, have taken a distaste to any news surrounding PoE 2, especially those who are ingrained in the biggest PoE 1 communities out there. I'm talking about, of course, Reddit and even YouTube. There are a lot of people who are in the camp of PoE 2 is going to ruin PoE 1. I do not want to be excited about PoE 2, and here's why. Well, with this latest announcement about Path of Exile 2 on consoles, it appears Grinding Gear Games has galvanized the community once more, back to that sort of feeling back in 2019, when Path of Exile 2 was initially announced as an expansion to PoE 1, set out to fix all the problems with the game, with the new gem system, with a brand new campaign, updated graphics, animations, and more. And it's wonderful. Now, I know that's selfish, I'm probably saying it because I'm a content creator about PoE 2, right? But no, I just like the good vibes that I'm seeing out there, the positivity. It's uplifting. And you know, if it's uplifting for me, as this dude who's sitting here, enjoying the drinks that are in the lounge, right? I'm sure Grinding Gear Games is absolutely ecstatic about it. And that's what I kind of want to talk about today. The general vibes around PoE 2 and how it's been received over the past, 5 years, okay? Because now, Grinding Gear Games with this latest announcement, I bet they are absolutely ecstatic. All these former announcements have been met with, by most of the regular PoE 1 community. Those people who are ready for a new game in the form of Path of Exile 2, of course, have been excited. They are trying to get every ounce of detail about the game that they can. Trust me, I know, I see some of your search terms. But a lot of people in PoE 1, they've just been a little lackluster with the whole project. And this latest update on consoles shows that Grinding Gear Games is really putting in the effort to redefine not only the ARPG genre, but Path of Exile itself. Because PoE 1, let's face it, it has been samey for a while, right? They've set into a rhythm there. Of course, new updates have fascinating new ideas. Every single one of them really does. But for the game itself, it's set into a real generic state. They don't want to change fundamental things with the game. Jonathan Rogers, the game director on PoE 2 and the former technical director on Path of Exile 1 and one of the co-founders of Grinding Gear Games, has stated as much. They don't want to make drastic changes with PoE 1 because there would be massive backlash. With PoE 2, they're able to do this sort of thing. They're able to add WASD controls. They're able to experiment with wells and flasks, even if they turn out to be wrong, and they decide to go back to the way it was basically in Path of Exile 1 with those flasks. They're able to do what they've shown us with consoles. This is something that Path of Exile 1 has been lacking on for quite a while. It's not crossplay, you can't couch co-op, there's no cross progression either. The console community is essentially isolated away from the PC community. And that sucks. Some of us, of course, do prefer PC having its own realm and console being separated because there's a lot of stuff that goes into actually being a feasible, constantly updated title on consoles and being connected to PCs, Macs, whatever, right? But it's a price you have to pay, and I think the price is well worth it, given all the excitement that this has drummed up in the community. It's even bringing new members into our community. I was a little curious when all that hubbub happened the past few days about PoE 2 on consoles. So I decided to just look at Google Trends, which is something that I do try to pay attention to pretty closely. This right here is the Path of Exile 2 search term. You can see that there are a few certain spikes in it. And there are 4 major ones, okay? The first one is that announcement in November of 2019. That's when PoE 2 was initially announced at ExileCon 2019. We've talked about it ad infinitum here, okay? That second spike, a little bit smaller, was when they released the information about the spear and the crossbow during the ultimatum reveal. They also showcased a bit of Act 2, boss health bars, and that was in 2021. April 2021. Then you see there is a stagnation here because absolutely no news came out about PoE 2. There were some spikes here and there, but there wasn't a lot ongoing up until you see it right here, ExileCon 2023. And that is when Path of Exile 2 was announced to be a separate game from Path of Exile 1, and that was the biggest spike of all. Now, I think that's because there was a lot of interest in the general ARPG genre at the time due to Diablo 4 just releasing about a month and a half prior. If we go forward, we see that the news about PoE 2 has been pretty constant, right? There's the spike when we learned about the Druid in December, the Mercenary, all that stuff. And then, actually the fourth largest spike, the third largest spike on this graph, is a few days ago. It's when Path of Exile 2 was announced to be on consoles. Editor Try here in post with a very cool voice. Look at what is the number 5 video for the Path of Exile YouTube channel. It's that Path of Exile 2 console trailer. It has absolutely blown up, and it is probably going to be the number 4, maybe number 3 trailer of all time for Path of Exile. That is wild. It has been out 2 days, everyone. This got PoE a ton of eyes on it. There wasn't any new real gameplay or classes shown or any awesome new game features. However, we did learn that couch co-op is happening, that there's cross progression, cross play. All this stuff is going to draw in a brand new audience, and much of it is usable on PCs as well. So those existing audience members, the people who are playing Path of Exile 1, the vast majority of which are PC users, also got excited. They were console users excited, new users excited, and that made the existing ones excited as well. And it's just been such a great vibe. I've really enjoyed it. And we want to keep that rolling, okay? Because this game, Path of Exile 2, it really has the chance to make an impact. This last week might have been Path of Exile 2's biggest week ever, I think, in terms of actual community outreach and growth. There were a lot of eyes on it, whether it was PS players, right? Xbox players, PC players, D4 players, whatever. Everybody was looking at it, okay? And that is only going to continue growing and growing as we approach the actual release date in 2024. Now, I've thrown my hat into the ring, and I do believe November 2024 is going to be when Path of Exile 2 launches. We'll see if that's actually true, but I think I'm pretty right on the mark there. There's a lot of stuff that's going to be showcased between now and then. And if Path of Exile 2 and Grinding Gear Games continues to have that same sort of effect as they did this past week, my goodness gracious, the strength of the community is going to be awesome. I mean, I was a bit worried. People were faltering a bit ever since ExileCon 2023. I think they were a bit jaded that their favorite game, Path of Exile 1, was no longer getting those content updates, which I totally understand. It's not going to get brand new graphics and animations and this awesome gem system ever. But maybe it will, but it will be a long time. So we'll go with not going to get it. Probably going to be in PoE 2. And I think slowly, as Grinding Gear Games is showing all the things that they can do with PoE 2, while leaving PoE 1 as that awesome game that people have been playing since 2011, 2012, 2013, and onward, players are beginning to trust them more. And they're really beginning to get excited about Path of Exile 2 again, which is exactly what I like and what we need. Now, of course, in a few days, I'm flying out to LA to play Path of Exile 2 on console, okay? Testing out couch co-op, console play, and a bunch of new stuff. This session is double the length of my last session, which was 4 hours. I'm going to be playing for around 8 hours. Some of that, of course, will be interviews, I'm sure presentations, but I'll get a lot of time to play. And this time, I'm not messing up, okay? I'm going to record on the absolute highest quality. I have an amazing portable SSD so I can capture anything I want, and I'll be able to port it to my laptop and then my computer right when I get back home. to show it to all of you. And I'm hoping with that footage I can continue to drum up that excitement and showcase exactly why I think Path of Exile 2 is going to be one of the greatest games of 2024 and of the past decade. Jonathan did say it's going to be this first six-tuple A ARPG and video game out there. That is a lot to live up to. If you like the video, give it a like. And if you want more content about Path of Exile 2, Path of Exile, and beyond, subscribe to the channel and hit that sub notification bell. Please, if you'd like to, check out this video about the entire story of how Path of Exile 2 started in 2017 and how it's grown to now. It's a history video, but it's an entertaining one. Watch it. Tala Kura, my fellow exiles.